SprintCarUnlimited.com, coming to you from the TI-22 Performance Booth, PRI. We're here with Cy Lynch. Cy, tough first year last year. You were on a national tour, first time, high limit. What did you learn about your team and yourself as a driver? There's some pretty big struggles that you were able to make it the whole year and have a couple good performances at the end.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we definitely learned how to push through adversity, and things aren't going to go perfect, that's for sure. And I think that being on the road just shows you, how tough it truly is, and no matter how much you prepare and everything, there's so much that can go that's out of your control. So just pushing through adversity, realizing night in and night out, every other night is a brand new night. So, all the DNFs at the beginning of the season, mechanical failures that we had, just horrible luck, really. Nothing could go our way, and then it was like, man, as soon as July, August rolled around, you could tell the tides kind of shifted. So, we were in position, and yeah, I think our stats look better at the end of the year. But just as a team, the confidence was finally turning around. So, pushing through to finish the year showed that we can do it. We can compete with the guys on the national tour. And really going into this off season, it just is a huge sigh of relief knowing what to expect, what it takes to do it. There were so many questions that we didn't have answers to at this time last year of what does it take to be a national touring series. So, super excited for my team and the position that we're in, and I think that next year is going to be a good year for us.
Bring in Heath Moyle. Obviously, he's been on the road a long time. He's worked with Shane Stewart, Brent Marks, and many others. What's he bring to your team? Why is this such an important hire for you?
Oh, it's huge for our team. I mean, we're super thankful to have a guy like Heath come on board with us. I've been friends with him for a couple years, but, obviously his resume speaks for itself. I mean, super decorated in the sprint car world, and he's been on the road for a long time. So, I mean, his knowledge and just having that trust in him, on his opinion and on his views, but at the same time, chemistry is everything, and for us to have that chemistry right off the bat is massive. So, I think it's important that a friendship was formed first, and now business is after. And I really expect us to be in a good spot, and I can just tell you that the first couple weeks of the off season that we've had, it's been genuinely a sigh of relief just to see how he and Kinzer and really, the whole team has just been working really well together. So super happy for that, excited for that, but also super thankful for Tyler to come on board in the position that he was in March last year. Super thankful for that to help us get through our first year, and I'm sure he's happy to be back with Shark Racing and Jacob. So I think it all worked out the way it was supposed to be, and I think that everyone's excited for next year.
So you're the talk of the internet a little bit. I mean, everybody's wondering what you're doing next year, and I know you're doing your due diligence. You are, when you said to me in Charlotte at World Finals that you are going to entertain both national series, you will be with the national series next year. People speculating you're not going to run national tour, but you are. Talk about kind of weighing the options between the World of Outlaws and High Limit, just this whole process, and why you haven't made an announcement yet.
Well, I think it's the right thing to do. At the end of the day, this is a business. We have to treat it like a business. With us not having a franchise with High Limit, you have to explore all options on the table. So, obviously we're super appreciative of High Limit, and we love everything that they're doing. And honestly, the World of Outlaws stepped up as well, and they came to the table as well. So at the end of the day, competition's a good thing. It's good for business. It's good for everyone involved. And I don't think anyone that says negatively about that, I think is just an old school fan that is a naysayer. But the numbers don't lie. I mean, it's good for a team in my position to have choices. We have options. We want to be on a national touring series, and we're doing everything that we can to see what best fits us.
When do you hope to have a decision by?
I think internally we already have a decision. As far as public knowledge, could be as early as tomorrow, could be as late as February. You never know.
Regardless of which series you go to, what needs to improve? What do you guys need to improve on to take that next step, get to victory lane with a national tour?
Oh, for us, I think truly it's dotting the I's, crossing the T's. Obviously, me as a driver, me coming into this at this point last year, I mean, I was putting on many different caps. I was trying to do everything I could with marketing to bring partners on board to make it possible to become a national touring team. And, obviously, still building cars, still doing everything. We were still in the process of buying a truck and trailer at this point last year. So for us now, to have Heath, to have the guys, fully focused on the mechanical side of things. I'm focused on more, the logistical side of things, but also still have an involvement with everything. So I really believe, for me as a driver, I have to focus on, what my duty is from the time that I put the helmet on to the time that the checkered flag falls. So, and I think I'm finally in a position now this year to have the trust in the whole team for it to be a smooth operation. So I expect big strides for our team, but everyone's working hard. It's why this is these guys are the best in the business for a reason. So not a single win is easy, and it's never handed to you. So we take pride in that. We're willing to take the challenge.
Well, whatever series you run, we'll see you next year.
Sounds good. We'll see you guys for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
SprintCarUnlimited.com, coming to you from the TI-22 Performance booth at PRI. We're here with AJ Flick, known as Austin. As I found out today, I thought he stole the badge to get in here, and then I saw Flick, and I'm like, is that your name? How did this happen? How'd you get AJ?
My father, actually, he was a big AJ Foyt fan growing up, so he wanted my initials, and he basically told my mother, he's like, as long as you give me AJ, you can pick the names, and I ended up with Austin Jeffrey. So,
all right, racing. PRI, what draws you to this show? Is it making deals? Is it, just getting things prepared for the 2026 season, or really any season?
Yeah, I mean, it's all of it. Network and marketing is huge. I mean, simple fact of the matter is, you and I didn't have any of this planned. I was walking past the booth. I saw you. I shook your hand. You said, hey, you want to do a 5-minute interview? And here we are. So none of this was planned. It's just catching up with people that you're friends with, meeting new people, marketing with new people. And then we're here too, TI-22 booth, MPD booth, checking out new parts. So there's hundreds of these vendors set up all across that still relate to us. And that's basically the goal. If we come here and we find something new that we like, we're going to try and market ourselves and introduce ourselves to people that could help our program in the future and try to take AJ Flick Racing to the next level. And I've done that a lot with just safety equipment and performance parts, Bell Racing, King Racing products. Over to the right here is BMRS with hoses and lines and electronics. And these guys, I didn't know any of them 10 years ago, but I met them all 8 years ago. I've cultivated relationships with them over the past 5, 6, 7 years. And now when I show up to a facility like this and an event like this, I can shake their hand. They come to me. They know who I am, and we just continue building our program from here. So I really enjoy coming here. It's more networking now than it ever has been before. Social media marketing and everything is online. Everything. You can go and do an online catalog and find a new part, and everything's on Facebook, everything's on TikTok, everything's on Instagram, and basically you don't come here to see new stuff as much as you used to. Back before the social media day and age, this is where you came to find everything new, to basically just everything that's invented in the sport was always shown off here, or some sort of trade show. If you went to the Northeast trade show, or they would have new stuff at Syracuse or down at Charlotte, places like that. But now it's over the past few years, it's starting to change, and my main focus when I come here now is just continuing to introduce myself to people, crew chiefs, car owners, media members, anybody that I can, and that relationship then gets taken throughout the next season and come back here and do it again.
Last season, not a bad season. Assess 2025, and what are you looking to do in 2026? Kind of the same thing in that Western PA area?
Yeah, a lot of it. I mean, it's funny, when I win 6 races, we were still a lot of the top dog in Western PA and most wins, still won a Lernerville title, and I'm disappointed about it. Winning 13, 15, 11 races kind of spoils you a little bit, and we always try to travel more, but then when we're making money and we're winning races out in our local area and sleeping in our own beds, and I don't have to rely on having 4 or 5 crew members show up to help me out when we go to Eldora or Port Royal to try and keep up with the pace of the event. It makes it hard, but if we can stay local and still make $1,500, $2,000 a night on average throughout the course of an entire season, I think that's pretty good. And a lot because our expenses there are so much cheaper than what we have to race against when we head too far east, too far west, run against High Limit, run against Outlaws, people like that. So checkbook racing is huge in my side of the state, and eventually we'll get out of that. I think so, but that's why one of the reasons we're here. We're here to market and to network and find a way to get out of checkbook racing, and it is what it is. I'm not upset about it by any means, but I don't want Western PA to be my home forever, that's for sure. And before COVID hit, when life was a lot less expensive, we were able to get to Port Royal as much as we could, and I thought we made a pretty good name for ourselves, and we won a lot of good races, and things have just taken a step back since COVID. It is what it is. It's just the way life works. So no excuses there, but as you can see, last year we tried to get to Eldora once, went up to do the New York All-Star Swing, and now I think Western PA has even stepped it up a little bit too. Some of the local shows are paying more. Fast is coming into Pittsburgh to pay $10,000 to win now for a July show, just randomly out of the blue. So All-Stars are coming to Sharon. It's just there's a lot going on, and it makes it easier to still run locally and be successful.
Do you ever think about running, say, a regional series? I did a 90 at 9 on it this morning. They're usually in that 30 race range. Say like the All-Stars, are in a, they don't go too far out of your range. Maybe Fast. Fast is, you and I were talking off air about, they run from Mansfield to Western PA. Do you consider one of those series just for whether it's exposure or a little, running for a little more money and maybe a championship?
Yeah, the simple fact is I think about it every single year. I go through the numbers for the All-Stars. I go through the numbers for Fast. Every single year the schedules come out. And it's just simply put that we make way more money running in Western PA and winning as many races as we do. The only downfall is the exposure side of it. I've had these goals over the past 3, 4, 5 years. If I could find a way to still bring in the same amount of money that I do running locally, if I could find a way to do that and still cover the additional expenses by traveling, I would absolutely do it. That's just been the catch. I've tried to find that slight additional help, whether it's financial or for the crew, that we can take that extra step, and I'm not quite where I want to be to do it comfortably. If I felt, I don't want to do it as a risk, if that makes any sense, because I don't want it to affect any future years I have planned. I want to do it where I know that even if it's a failure, I won't be set back. And that's been it's a conservative approach to take. It may hinder my career, but at least I know that what I'm doing now, I'll be able to continue my career. I don't want to take a risk that will end my career, if that makes sense.
Last thing, I put you on the spot a little bit. Western PA, a little fragmented last year. Tri-City and Lernerville running against each other. I think it's going to happen again this year. Yes, you have some national series. You have High Limit come into Lernerville, and you have the All-Stars coming into town. What's the state of Western Pennsylvania racing right now?
I think it's horrible. But I think a lot of sprint car, not just sprint car, I think a lot of racing in general is in a bad state right now. Everything's just so expensive, and you can't justify tracks. Race drivers we're all greedy. We all want paid more money. But if you ever try to look at it from a track's point of view, they can't justify increasing purses. They can't get enough fans. They don't get enough cars. It's a very difficult position to be in. I personally wish we would still have a place to race on Sunday in Western PA. That's when we were getting a lot of our wins. I was able to race 3 times a week. I could race Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I was making money Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That was really building my program up. It obviously took a hit last year because now there's just Sundays that we're off. We have no racing. There's people that work Friday that could race Sunday, and now they can't anymore. So I know there's a few people that have sold race cars because they can't race Sunday. I know there's a few people that have bought race cars because now they can race somewhere else on Friday. So from my side of it, I wish we could still have somewhere to race Sunday. Doesn't matter where it is. I just want to be able to race Sunday. Lernerville was able to cover up some of those races last year. We ended up losing a few due to weather, but that's just a crapshoot. I mean, there's been races. There's been years I've lost 5, 6, 7 shows on Friday too. I remember Port Royal lost half their shows due to weather one year too. So it's just how it goes. I want racing to be better. But the fact of it is I need to focus on myself and making sure that I can get through my seasons from front to back, head to toe. And if we can do that, then I consider it successful. And I come to the off season with attempts to try and build my program and find ways to do more than next year's.
Well, AJ, thank you very much. I'm going to let you get back to networking, and I appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, it's good to be on here. I have to be on a podium interview here one time too.
Well, hopefully you will be.
Thanks.
Welcome to another edition of the SprintCarUnlimited.com live show where you can ask questions via chat or calling in. Again, not going to do a pre-race deal. It's the off season. We all know what's going on. We could talk about the Sprint Car Council. We could talk about Gio Scelzi, Spire Motorsports, Cy Lynch rejoining the series. We can even talk about today's 90 at 9, in which I stated that Kubota might not be back in 2026 to high limit. If you're looking to call, the numbers on the screen in this festive background that Eric got going, props to him for putting that together because I sure as hell couldn't. It's 844-543-8589. And we're ready to get rolling here with the chat. All right, I got to adjust here. Were there any rumblings about the Sprint Car Council, or did this really come out of nowhere like it seems? I mean, this is kind of weird. I mean, Justin Fiedler talked about it on his Dirt Tracker show. This is something that's been in existence since 2018. I really don't know what the surprise is. I guess because they formed a national board, maybe. But they've been having meetings for a while now. So I don't really know what this means. I don't know what's different. And honestly, I don't know if it's going to, or if they're going to do anything above and beyond what they've done in the past. So I haven't really talked much about it because, again, this is something that was formed back in 2018. So I don't know why. Are we just rebranding it? I'm not really sure what we're doing, or if we're just naming a national committee. Hopefully they can do some things. Hopefully they clean some stuff up in the sport and it trickles down to the regions. Will Crouch get the short end of the stick with the team since CJB also signed shots? No, from what I gather, that team is going to run high limit. They're going to have their own crew. I think they're going to be as separate as they can be. I don't even know if they'll run out of the same shop. In fact, I'm pretty sure they will not. So at that rate, I don't think he gets the short end. I think we all know that there's some financial reason why. And there's, Leighton Crouch, who's Brenham's father. I think he's ponied up some into this team. So I don't see Brenham getting the short end of the stick. And I believe Barry Jackson when he says that he's still committed to the development of Brenham Crouch. I think we saw him come, make progress, I should say, last year. And I think Donnie's not going to be around forever. So if they continue, if CJB is going to continue, you got to have that heir apparent, so to speak. So Brenham might be that guy. So I just don't foresee it being Brenham getting jettisoned out of there. How was your trip to PRI? Not bad. Not a lot of sprint car news. I expected more, but I guess we're in this thing now where sprint car news comes out in August, September, October, November, and really there's nothing left for December other than maybe the USAC schedule, maybe a couple teams declaring one way or the other. It's just I just don't think there was a lot going on. I mean, the Gio Scelzi Spire announcement was rumored to be happening a while ago. They waited until PRI. Cy Lynch, of course, was the other one. I just think guys need to get their off seasons rolling quicker. And if you're going to put out information, you got to do it before you're calling your manufacturer to make deals, whether it be chassis, parts, whatever. And then it gets out, and then you're not the one controlling the announcement. So I just think it's sprint car racing shifted a bit, and I don't think we're going to get a ton of news at PRI like we do with the late models. How is Tyler Courtney doing on his rehab? Will he be ready in 26? From what I gather, he will be. He's not wearing glasses anymore. We saw that with the pictures of his wedding. But I heard this weekend that he should be good to go, that the glasses aren't needed anymore. He's improving, only has a little bit of peripheral vision problems that'll clear up. I don't know if he'll run Volusia. But as far as Las Vegas, I expect him to be good to go, and I wouldn't be surprised if he is at the Dirt Car Nationals. So I think Tyler's going to be fine from everything I'm told from the team and the people I ran into out in PRI. Looks like he's good to go. The surgery was a success. I hope we see AJ Flick in Central PA more in 2026. I really enjoyed your interview with him at PRI. Very well-spoken driver. Yeah, I just don't know if he's going to have the equipment to run in Central PA. I think he'd probably like to run the series in here, but that takes resources. And, the motors that he runs out there in Western PA aren't as strong as the ones that are needed in here. So for the big track. So, I think he'd like to do it. I don't know if he will. Maybe get some more resources and maybe he comes in here and runs. Otherwise, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the Fast Series is a place for him. The travel's nice. It's, I think, from talking to him, it's from, I think, like Mansfield to Western PA. So it's not the window there for however many shows it is. It's not over a widespread area. So I think you could see AJ Flick get into the Buckeye State a little. As for Central PA, not really sure. Is Spire Motorsports a championship contender? It's going to depend on their motor program. I'm not this year. I'm going to say it takes a year. I think there's going to be a learning curve a little bit. Gio and Eric Prutzman need to get on, to kind of develop that chemistry. This team's basically thrown together from scratch. Now, has there been success stories in the past? 1989 comes to mind. Doug Wolfgang, Danny Peace. and Deuce Terrell and Hubbard, who's the engine guy. But again, that doesn't happen often. And I just don't know if they can come out and contend for a title right away. We'll see. I think the beginning of the year is going to be the telltale. You can't fall too far behind. I think Buddy Kofoid found that out last year. And I don't know. We'll see. But I don't think this year. Maybe the following year. Anyone left that's going to commit to high limit for 26? I don't see anybody. Maybe Emerson Axum. I know he's choosing between the two series if he hasn't made a choice already. That was as of Charlotte when I talked to him. I think he's probably the only one who is left. I could see, maybe we're still waiting for Chase Randall to see what he's going to do. Emerson Axum, there's a rookie supposedly going to declare for the World of Outlaws in the next day or two. So, but Emerson Axum, I don't think anybody really has an indication of where he's going to go. I mean, I've heard both of them. So, other than that, I don't think so. Surprised nothing yet about Sheldon and KCP. Not really. Not really. I don't think there's any hurry. I think they're still working out the details, probably, I'm assuming, with an associate sponsorship from NOS, and just haven't gotten around to it yet. I mean, the other thing is maybe everything's worked out and they just wanted to keep away from the news at PRI, not get lost in the shuffle, so to speak. So, but I don't think there's a problem. I think he's going to be running World of Outlaws next year. Who you got the Monday Night Football game, Steelers or Dolphins? Probably shouldn't say this, but I bet 100 on the Steelers -3. So I say Steelers. Miami doesn't travel well in the cold, even though they came up here Saturday. There are rumors of a new rookie World of Outlaws driver being announced tomorrow. Any chance you could drop some hints? I've heard rumors of Scott Boguski. I've heard, obviously, as I said, the Emerson Axum stuff. I've heard, obviously, Pennsylvania. I've heard TJ Stutz. There's a lot of, I talked to somebody with the World of Outlaws, and they seem to think it could be the largest rookie class in history. I don't necessarily, I don't see that happening, but those are the names that I'm hearing at this point. Sheldon and KCP debating tours. Is that why the announcement's late? No. I think there's zero chance they go to high limit. Well, let me rephrase that. I think it's 95% chance they're going to the World of Outlaws. Maybe 5%. You never want to say. Because then I'll end up coming on the show next week and having to explain myself. So we don't want to do that. So, I think maybe a 5% chance they go to high limit. I mean, come on. I mean, NOS is going to be a part of the deal, even if it's as an associate. There's ties to the World of Outlaws. I think Sheldon obviously likes the World of Outlaws. Unless something changes late in the game here, I don't think I don't think it's a debate. What is Spire running for cars and engines? I think they're running. What are they running? I know they're running the Stanton engines, and I think it might be Maxims. No, that's CJB. CJB's running Maxims. I'm not sure what chassis, but I know they're running Stanton motors. If anybody can help out with that, I'm unaware. I'm unsure of what they're running. Is the motor the highest cost for the teams? Yeah, if you're buying new. Well, okay. If you have a truck and trailer is the highest thing, and then it's depending on how many motors you buy. But if you're, depends what level you're at, and the rebuilds are, I guess, are between 10 and 15. So if you have, so your tire bill's next after that. The tire bill's what has people spun out because it's increased so much over the years. You could get a new rider, I think, for 76,000, something like that. Your tire bills. I know a guy in Central PA who ran specifically in Central PA. His tire bill was like 60 grand last year. Now it was high because his crew chief was spending a lot, but still, guys on the road are spending a ton on tires. So it's motors and tires. Thank you for Schnee Lawson for the 77. Good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, they're all gonna stay the same pretty much. So thank you. I appreciate it. I just didn't look. How many wins for Donnie next year? I had the over under at 3. Over under's 3. With high limits starting in March, do you anticipate any late sign-ons? We really haven't had a lot of this yet, where maybe somebody runs Florida, was going to run Outlaws, didn't run well, and then jumps. Obviously, high limit hasn't been around a long time. So I just don't see that happening. I mean, maybe if they're looking for a crew, or if they don't have everything worked out yet and they're flying under the radar, but I don't see any late commitments. Unless you get a somebody coming in from the West Coast that we didn't anticipate, because they start out there. Which I've heard a rumor or two about somebody possibly doing that. I'm not going to mention the names because I just don't think it happens. If I thought it was a chance it would happen, a good chance, I would say it, but I just don't think it happens. But no, I don't expect any late entrance into high limit this year. Yay or nay on the Chili paint scheme? Nay. With IHR, yeah, I've heard about this. With the IHRA buying drag strips and various series, I saw where they are looking into dirt track racing. Have you heard if that means sprint cars? Guy's name is, I believe, Cuddle is the guy who runs IHRA. It's his last name. I heard a lot of money. They have a lot of money, and they're willing to get into a lot of stuff. Now, I have not heard sprint cars specifically, but it wouldn't surprise me. They were at PRI, and I just don't. Who knows? I heard they have a lot of money to burn. So they make the transition. I don't know. World Racing Group pumping a lot of money into the Shots CJB deal to keep Donnie out there. No. I've not heard. World Racing Group is not going to pay a team to put a driver in the car. Because here's the problem with that. And I don't buy that. From what I gather, it's Donnie's trailer. Donnie bought a trailer. So that's a big expense right there. And CJB has a lot of equipment. So that's not an issue. They wouldn't need World Racing Group to do it. But that's a problem because it's a conflict of interest. And I have not heard one peep of World Racing Group getting involved in any shenanigans like that. And that would be really bad because if other teams find out, then there's calls on the track that go a certain way. That wouldn't be good. So I don't believe the World Racing Group would do that. Do you follow any Australian or New Zealand sprint car racing? Yeah, a little bit. I'll start doing that more now that PRI's over and you're getting closer to the classic. You're getting closer to the bigger races over there. The United States guys go over from the United States. So I'll definitely keep an eye on it more. Up until this point, I haven't. It's been a pretty busy time. So I've been kind of focused on some of the things going on here, getting everything done at PRI. Still didn't get everything done I wanted to get done. And then I have a surgery on my thumb this week. So that's going to take a little, it makes it difficult to type, but we'll see how that goes. But yes, I will be watching it. Have you heard anything about Danny Sam's car owner running a second car in 2026? I have not. I talked to Danny Sams and he never mentioned that at all. So I have not. I doubt that that'll happen. I mean, then why would they have struggled to get motors last year? So I don't see them running a 2-car team and taking away from their primary driver. That just wouldn't make sense. Hey, Jeremy, besides the FLG team, are there any other teams joining the 410 ranks in Central PA in 2026? No. Brady Bacon's back in the 20. He confirmed that to me at PRI. A little bit of a rough start in that car, but he will be back in it. New combinations, Aaron Bollinger in the Factor This Racing X car, but no new teams. I think the days of seeing a lot of new teams pop up is definitely on the decline. Again, we had Selzy and Spire. I think those are rarities. So, and we also lost a team last year. We lost the second Myers entry as far as a national tour. So it costs a lot of money to get a team off the ground. So I think when we do see it, mark it down because it just doesn't happen often. Also, I heard of one team that was in the top 10 at Port Royal the past 3 years that is not coming back. Hopefully we don't lose any other teams in Central PA. Well, I don't know who that would be. Talked to Logan Wagner this past week. He's coming back. His dad, Mike Wagner, will be back, but he's going to run on a limited basis. The plan is to get Logan Wagner kind of up and running and quicker. And I think they could travel some more. Could be a 90 at 9 tomorrow. I'm looking for a 90 at 9 tomorrow. So any suggestions, I'll take them because I'll tape that after I'm done with this. But yeah, I don't, Chad Trout's still going to be around. There was rumors he was going to drop off significantly, but I'm hearing 30 races. So no, I think it's pretty much full speed ahead in Central PA. Any idea who Brent Marks has got for crew members for next season? It's a young crew, guys I haven't heard of. So no, I do not. I don't have any idea of who they are, meaning where they've come from. They're definitely not guys I've heard about. I see the name you're saying. Yes, I have heard that. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, I have heard that. Now, I haven't called him yet, but I did hear that as well. Will Nos be with Sheldon next year? It's going to be a smaller sponsor. They're still with the 17 car, so it'll be what I guess you would call an associate sponsor. How many wins will Brian Mercenary Brown steal? Jesus, from High Limit and Woo. 2 or 3. 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 I could see him winning Knoxville, obviously, and they have more races there this year. So maybe anywhere between 1 and 3 for Brian Brown. I think he's going to heal up nicely. I think his biggest problem now is his Chiefs are out of the playoffs. I'm sure that probably has him bummed more than anything. Who are the rumored names to run the full PA Posse series? Very few. I would say Freddie Raymer. I would say Troy Wagaman Jr. Maybe, and I do stress big maybe, Lance DeWeese. But other than that, I think it's going to be very, very few. I even think Danny Dietrich's going to miss 5 or 6, which is past the 3-race mulligan. And I find it hard to believe that that DeWeese is going to run the whole thing as well. So I just see 2, maybe 3 guys at most. If you were a track promoter booking High Limit, would you choose a weekday race with Larson or a weekend show without him? Well, of course, I'm going to choose the weekday show with him. He just draws more fans. It draws more interest. It draws more eyes. Absolutely, no doubt, a weekday show. Did Brownie get healed up? From what I gather, everything's healing nicely. Again, except maybe his bruised ego over the Kansas City Chiefs. Are we doing Mondays from now on? No. I have a hockey game tomorrow at Pittsburgh. I'm taking my daughter to see Sidney Crosby play. So it was a rare opportunity. And no. Next week, I expect it to be Tuesday. I'm sorry I got messed up last week. I forgot about the game. So we moved to Wednesday. Where will CJB's located? I expect one team in Carlisle, and we'll have to see where the other one is. I think it could be in the Knoxville area because from what I gather, they're building another shop out there, but I'm not sure. Is Haymaker still going to be racing the Klein 22 next year? Yes. Sandy Klein confirmed to me during the season that he will be back next year. Who will land a title sponsor first? World of Outlaw late models, High Limit, or High Limit if they lose Kubota, it'll be High Limit. Because I hear it's already in the pipeline. I hear that they're already, I guess, courting somebody. And Flo obviously helps with this process because High Limit doesn't really have a long history. They don't have a ton of analytics or data to sell to a company, whereas Flo does. It makes sense. And now that's going to probably change again after about year 5, 6. And then that's when it becomes, like, I hate to use the word more critical because it's always important. But I think I've heard rumors that there's going to be, if Kubota's not there, one will be in place. Chase Rodman, did you lie in your text to me the other day? Told me you were going to wear. Oh, stop it. No. I'm not going to wear a new jacket. Thank you to Chaz for it, but I'm not wearing anything on the show. Is Kevin Rudine paying for guys to come out to Skagit? Not purse money, travel bonus instead of Hughes. It's a conflict of interest. I've heard this. I've heard he's doing it. This isn't okay. Let's assume he's doing it. Okay, let's say he's paying guys. This has been done many times. This was done years and years ago. It's nothing new. Conflict of interest. I don't necessarily believe it's a conflict of interest. If they give them favorable calls on the track, then it's a conflict of interest. If they're getting better pill draws, then it's a conflict of interest. Unless somebody can prove that, then we'll just assume it's a practice that has been going on for a long time. I mean, the World of Outlaws used to pay Pennsylvania guys to go to New York and support those shows because they didn't have a full field. So this isn't a new process. This has gone on for years. Go to jail for a night or the Chili Bowl for 6 days. I'll go to jail for a night. As long as it doesn't go on my permanent record. Jeremy, was PRI a positive for you? Yeah, I think it was. I was in the thank you to TI-22 for letting me in their booth. I was able to do interviews in there. It was a place to kind of put my stuff, so I appreciate them, Eddie Smith, and the whole staff there. That was good. Obviously, was able to get some information on stuff. I was able to do a few interviews. Was able to see some people I needed to talk to, maybe get some stuff for down the road. Trip to PRI is always good. Everybody in the industry's there, and if you have questions, you definitely can get a lot of information. So, PRI was good, and I'm happy to be home. We got Rick on line 1. Rick, how are you?
Good. What's going on with the Ford motor program? You heard anything?
Well, I mean, from what I gather, they're still going to be with Justin Peck. They got to fix some things with it. They blew one up in Charlotte. I mean, I think he just.
I know it. They've had a lot of trouble.
They have.
They should have one for the World of Outlaws, I would hope. Should pick some good driver to run one.
Yeah, but is anybody going to do it? I just don't think they're going to have one with the World of Outlaws. I don't know who it would be. I don't know who would walk down that road for them. And honestly, I wouldn't. If it were me, I wouldn't do it unless they were paying for my motors. I mean, full tilt, all in. But otherwise,
I
got some unproven reliability there.
Well, I think what they should do is pick 2 motor builders like Mopar did. And, 2 heads are better than 1.
Yeah.
Nothing against the guy that's building them, but there's something going on. Donnie had a lot of good luck with those motors early on, and all of a sudden they don't stay together.
No, it definitely hasn't been good. I mean, Toyota, they have Speedway and then they have Riders, so they have the 2 motor system, and they had reliability troubles early on, and then now it's better, and obviously Kofoid has shown that. I just don't see anybody with the World of Outlaws switching. That's a big undertaking, and I just don't think anybody's willing to do it because I think you're sacrificing your season.
Well, I don't know. Ford Performance, they put a little money up. They might talk somebody into it.
Maybe.
I think the motor's got to prove itself first, but the motor's competitive when it runs right.
Yeah, no, I think it puts out a lot of power. I think we saw that. Zeb Wise won in it at Sealands Grove. I think it likes to eat at the big tracks. But again, I just don't. The reliability is a huge, huge question mark. And these teams with the World of Outlaws and on the road, they can't afford that. So I don't see anybody doing it. Maybe a team that is sitting 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th in the points would make that leap. But at that point, do you want to get a team like that? Or do you want a team where you have a top driver, top crew chief? You're going to want somebody like that, and none of those guys are going to jump. None of them.
Yeah, you're 100% right. You definitely got to have a good driver in one.
Yeah, I just don't foresee. I think they're fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah, I just don't understand why the Ford went in half-assed. The Toyotas are running good now.
They fixed their problems. They had I think they had
Yeah,
they had a
no,
head,
they did. They stuck with it, and they're very competitive.
yeah, they had a head.
There's a lot of people out there that are interested in the Ford, in Fords running, and I think Ford should step up and do something about it. It's all aftermarket stuff, but you can't blame Ford Motor Company. It's aftermarket
I don't know what the
and the
issues
people
are.
that are putting them together.
Yeah, I have no idea what the issues are. I've heard different things, and I'm not a motor guy. I mean, I'm not a gearhead.
I don't think Rodin will stick with them if they don't get it straightened out.
Well, no, if they keep blowing them
I
up,
think.
you're going to go through more money than they're worth.
Oh, I know it. I agree, 100%. That's what I say. I think he'll just jump out of there.
We'll see.
And I think Peck's probably getting disgusted too because he's a hell of a good driver.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume when you step on the throttle and it blows up, brand new, I don't think that's good.
Yeah, I know. Well, thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate your insight on that.
All right, Rick. Thank you very much for calling.
You bet. Bye.
Bye-bye. Who is your pick for the new high limit title sponsor, SprintCar Unlimited? Yeah, let me tell you what's not happening. A, nowhere near enough money, and B, conflict of interest. Would never do that. So no. Who could it be? I don't know. Like if I saw Roto Rooter on there, it wouldn't surprise me. If I saw somebody that they already have in some kind of commitment, just to up the commitment, I could see that. But I don't know. I don't know what they got going. I'm not in the boardroom at Flow. So we'll have to wait and see if Kubota comes back or they get somebody new. How many wins for Lance in the 8 car? Whew. 6. Jeremy, what did you think of the gift Chaz gave you? I thanked him. It was nice. Nice gesture. It was a nice gesture. I appreciate it. Who's going to be the new title sponsor for High Limit, Jeremy? I saw somebody said Napa. I don't know if that happens. Roto Rooter, maybe somebody like that, or they could get somebody brand new who coming into the fold. I have no idea. Better choice for the Michigan head football coach, Brian Carter or Brad Sweet? Neither of them. Not football guys. What's the difference between a normal Friday night at the Grove and a PA Posse race at the Grove? Not much. Depending on the night, purse, maybe the format. It depends which, but other than that, not much. Very little. When Wu takes a break, will CJB run High Limit, which Donnie hates, or return home to run Grove, where the posse hates Donnie? I think they're going to do basically what they do now. I don't think you'll see. I think they're going to burn 2 at the Eldora for the Joker's jackpot. So now they're down to 2 other ones. I wouldn't be surprised if Donnie goes to Knoxville or something, or Barry wants to get some laps at there. I don't think they'll necessarily be high limit shows even. 2 of them, though, are spoken for. They're going to go to Eldora for the Joker's jackpot. They're there that week. It only makes sense. So I wouldn't be surprised if Donnie has 2 freebies at the end of the year. Will Phillip Rivers win more games than Schatz does races? No. Are there any more teams joining the All-Stars next season? Not that I know of. That roster's been pretty quiet as far as commitments. I think we're way, way early on that. They don't start till April, I believe. So I don't expect those commitments to start rolling in until, I don't know, maybe March sometime. We're way early on that. Kubota down 22% sales in America. Sprint Car Series sponsorship is waste of money. I mean, it all depends what the ROI is. I mean, I can't answer that. I'm not in their boardrooms. I mean, Nas must think the Outlaws pays off. They do it. They continue to do it. So, Ron Helmick, Hayden Miller, and Tyler Brem, all new 410 teams in Central PA. Maybe 90 at 9 with these teams. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what the status of Ron Helmick was. I was told he was going to run more 410 races, but I could see him still running some other stuff. Tyler Brem, I talked to him enough where that's interesting. I'll probably hit him up. No, thank you for the heads up. And I did not hear of it. If I don't know if all of them are going to go full boat. I could see them kind of dipping in and out of 410 racing, but we'll see. When are you going to do the end of year with Tyler Swank? And when is Dr. Midnight going to have a deep dive? Well, I will have Tyler Swank next week on our year ender. And Dr. Midnight, you never know with the doctor. He does his own thing. And who knows? So it's hard to pin him down. Will World of Outlaws be allowing any more freebies in 2026? I think just the 4 that they have. I don't see them going outside of that, and I don't really blame them for going outside that. Hit the like button. Come on, let's get Jeremy 100 tonight. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Who's the crew chief for the Shots ride? Barry Jackson. Barry Jackson will be going with Donnie Shots this year. Put Jeremy in Shawshank. Hey, I visited that place. When I went to Mansfield with we went out for the last big race there. We went to Shawshank, or we went to that prison. And wow, it was spooky. I mean, it's pretty run down. So it was interesting. Great movie, by the way. Fabulous movie. One of my top 5. Maybe the CJB Shots deal is associated in some way with big game. They thought at one time of running 10 time. I was told no. That was one of the questions I asked when I interviewed Barry. Now, again, that doesn't mean, but I mean, he has no reason to lie about it. If you don't see big game on the car anywhere, I doubt, or one of his companies, I doubt that it's associated with it, but we'll see. We'll see in Florida, or when they have a rendering coming out of the car. But I heard it is not associated with it, but who knows? Wrong Pennsylvania hockey team to root for. You got a more deserving one on the other side of the state. I don't like either Pennsylvania teams. But I'm going to see Draisaitl and McDavid for Edmonton, and going to see Sidney Crosby. I mean, I don't need to like the teams to go. But I'm not a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. I'm not a Philadelphia Flyers fan. So, and my daughter likes the likes the Washington Capitals. I don't like them either. So I'm a Blackhawks guy. Night in jail or hang out with Chaz for 3 days. Come on, Sugar Bear. Stop. Come on. Get out of here. I'm not going to jail. I'm not going to jail. God knows what could happen. Of course, who knows? Like God knows what could happen with Chaz too. So who are your daughter's favorite 3 hockey players? Now, the first one, no one's going to know. It's Dylan McIlrath from the Washington Capitals. He's a defenseman who doesn't play all the time. He's a healthy scratch a lot of the times. He played in Hershey. He was the captain down there. He's kind of a physical presence, doesn't score a lot. He has a few NHL goals, but not many. He's a enforcer, protect the star type of guy. She likes Macklin Celebrini, and she loves Ovechkin, obviously. I think those 3 are now she likes this guy named Saunier. He played for the Bears, and he's a free agent. She likes these obscure guys sometimes that nobody really gives love to, but she definitely likes Macklin Celebrini, Ovechkin, obviously, and Dylan McIlrath. Those have to be the top 3. I'm sure she might be listening because once in a while she tunes in because then she'll see when she can call me afterward and she'll correct me if I'm wrong. Planning my first Kings Royal trip, hitting Fremont and Attica on the way this year. Any tips for a first timer? Oh, I've not been to Fremont, believe it or not. Attica's a great place to watch a race. It's dusty, but it's good. Not a bad seat in the house. So you'll be good at Attica. Get there a little early for parking, though. Park across the street in the field. Don't get caught inside the fairgrounds. That's dicey. So park across the street. You'll get out easier. At least that's my experience. Eldora, again, fantastic experience. My favorite track in the country. Love going there. Can be dusty too, but hey, it's a dirt track. And I mean, just the food at Eldora is great because it's affordable. Try the chicken wings. So, but it's great. It'll be a great trip. I hope you end up going back afterward. Aside from tradition, why don't sprint cars have starters? All the talk about moving shows along, I could live without push trucks. Well, here's the problem. Now everybody's going to have to change their cars, and that's going to cost a lot of money. I think, look, we all want to make changes, but those changes cost money. People have an inventory now. I don't think everybody's going to be able to put a star. You're going to have to develop a new car, I would assume, in some way, shape, or form. You're going to kill half the sport. Half the guys are going to get out of it. Now, maybe that's in some cases not a bad thing. Make it more elite, but that's a problem. The costs will go up tremendously as far as to get people equipment. So I just don't think it's something you're going to see. I don't think you're going to see drastic changes in the cars because it costs the teams money, and they complain way more about that than they do shows moving along. So I think we're stuck with what we got. Have you seen the video Chase Johnson posted about his wreck? It was very scary ending. Yeah, I mean, I feel for Chase Johnson. I hope. I mean, I'd love to talk to him. I'd love to do an interview with him. think it's too early. I might reach out to him in the near future to see if I could get him on. But again, because it's got to be hard to go through something like that. And especially at his age, young, I just don't, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I know a friend of mine, John Westbrook, who I talk to. I don't know how he does it. He keeps a positive attitude. I can only imagine how hard that is. So it is a scary ending to that video, and it's a shame it happened. I never want to see anybody go through that. Oh, Sugar Bear. Show me the value in sponsoring a sprint car series. I think they all see no value after a year and just use it to wash money. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not behind the scenes on it. I know I can't speak for a series. I wouldn't, and this is going to sound bad, I would not sponsor a car because basically all you're doing is putting something on the car. And if you get no social engagement out of it, if there's no activation, that's a problem. The key to any sponsorship where it works for both sides is activation. NOS has activation at the track. They're putting the product, whether you like it or you don't, they're putting the product in people's hands. So from any company in the real world, activation is key. Can you put your product in the hands of consumers? And that's what it comes down to. Now, I do know NOS does that. Kubota wasn't going to put tractors in the hands of consumers. So I see your point, but they're going to have to get somebody, okay, like Chili's, for instance. If they do something where if Gio wins a race, everybody who stops by the car that night afterward and gets a coupon gets $10 off at Chili's. That's engagement. That's activation. You're getting people into a Chili's. Those things are what, and you can track that. You put a QR code on there, you can track it. So I do think in some cases it's good, but you've got to have activation. That is the key to any sponsorship. What do you think it takes to be a title sponsor, like $4 or $5 million a year? Oh, God, no. God, no. I'd say half a million. $500,000. No way it takes $5 million a year. Dolphins or Steelers? Steelers. Cold weather, Miami usually doesn't have a good showing. Did you see Ashton Torgerson's ride for Tulsa? Bobby Allen will be honored. Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of that, and I'm okay with that. Obviously, Bobby was a legend in this sport, and he's, of course, passed his legacy on to Logan and Jacob and their operations. So, yeah, I have no problem with that. It's good. It'll definitely be a good talking point. Kubota sales up 40% in India. High limits India tour coming. I don't think there's many dirt tracks in India. Your thoughts on the Hughes trade? You know, my daughter wanted him to go to New Jersey so he could play with his brothers. It's great for Minnesota. I think Minnesota's taking a stab at the Western Conference. They better bring their lunch because the Avalanche they're really good. The Colorado Avalanche are excellent. Watching them plays like watching a video game. Plus, they have goaltending. So Minnesota is looking pretty good. Bringing in Hughes, I think it's great for them. So I like the trade from the side of the Minnesota Wild. What is the problem between you and the Chaz? I don't have a problem. I don't know why people think there's a problem. I never said there was a problem. The All-Stars are going to sponsor High Limit since they took all the drivers. Come on. No, it won't be that. The Cowboys stunk it up last night. Yes, they did. Defense was exposed. Quinnen, he went out. They had some injuries in the secondary. Diggs was out. And that's a matchup problem against Justin Jefferson and Addison and Naylor. They exposed him. Not good. Not good. Best hockey team in PA, the Bears. I don't know. It was a little rough last week against Providence. They didn't look good, but they came back Saturday and great goaltending and got the W 4-0. Who wins High Limit Championship and who for Outlaws in 2026? High Limits will be closer. Well, you know what? I don't know. I don't know if it'll be closer. I take that back. I think David Gravel sneaks it out ahead of Kofoid one more year. I think Buddy Kofoid wins it in 2027. On the High Limit side, man, that's tough. Because I can't help wondering if Rico's going to have, I know it's the same stuff. I get that. But it's still the process of moving over. He has the speedway stuff. Man, that's a tough question on the High Limit side. You have Aaron Reitzel. And then Tyler Courtney, just don't know how he's going to be. Give me Aaron Reitzel. Give me Aaron Reitzel. By the way, deep dive on Dan Dietrich. No, that would be a good one. I am looking to do a deep dive this week and next week. So I'm going to try and put it together. Also, we have the coupon code on the screen. Scan it. It takes you could get a 1-year subscription to SprintCarUnlimited.com at 20% off. It's $28 for a year, down from $35. We're running the special now through January 1st. So just scan the QR code and put the coupon code HOLIDAY 2025 in at checkout, and you'll be good to go. Any idea when Williams Grove and Lincoln schedules will be out? I expect Williams Grove to come out this week sometime. Hint, hint. And Lincoln, no idea. It shouldn't be too much longer. And I think next week we could see the BAPS 410 races. So that's what I'm hearing as of now. What is the difference between the governing body and council? I think the council is just for safety purposes. I don't think you're going to, like, a governing body to me oversees pretty much everything. Drug testing, teching, things of that nature. Now, they did say something the other day where they didn't support a change in the Butler seats. So I guess that would fall under a governing body as well. But I think a governing body's more involved. I think what I would like to see is an overall governing body, and then the regions have one under it and have a liaison communicate with the national governing body. But I think it just fixes problems regionally. And then I think on the national level, I just think you can do more and take care of more problems. Drug testing probably should come back. I think teching and just kind of uniform rules on how to do that stuff would be good. So that's kind of the difference. I just think the council is more towards safety and things of that nature. Deep dive with Doug Wolfgang. Seems like we don't hear much from anymore. Yeah, I mean, he was the guy I rooted on growing up. So I would love to have Doug Wolfgang on. He doesn't do a lot of interviews. He's one of these guys, when it was over, it was over. So he's not looking for the limelight or anything like that. So I don't know. I just think it's going to be tough to get him. I mean, he's definitely on the list. So we'll see. You and your daughter need to come out to St. Paul the first week of March, sometime for the high school hockey tournament. Put it on your bucket list. Nothing like it in the country. I've heard about that. We have high school hockey back here, and I've heard kids talk about it. So the question is with school. She has school. So we'll see when her spring break. I'd like to get out to the West Coast and see a San Jose Sharks game with her. That's kind of something that's on my list. Hard to pull off, but we'll see. Only so much money to go around. When can we expect the PA Posse Sprint Series to announce what the fans really want to know, like ticket prices and streaming costs? I don't know. I think you're going to know about the ticket prices at the gate. I don't think there's going to be a uniform ticket price. I think they have a suggested price of $30 and $45 for the pits. However, it's up to the discretion of the track. So I think you're going to know at the gate. As for streaming costs, I can't answer that. I can tell you if it's a SprintCarUnlimited.tv event, it's $4.99 above gate price because we take care of the track. We want to protect the track, and we split the money with the track. So I can't speak for any other service. Do you predict we will go through all of 2026 without hearing from Tyler Walker? Yes. Absolutely. I would be surprised if we hear from him. Your thoughts on the Butler built seat with attached belts not being allowed? Admittedly, I was going to go over to the deal at Sharpley and Darren Pittman on last Thursday, I believe. And I didn't get over there. We had something come up at PRI. I wanted to get over there because I think they were going to talk about that. I don't know enough about it right now to formulate an opinion. So now I understand. I think the council said they didn't have enough information and needed to get a bigger sample size of information. I'm okay with that. I think sometimes in sprint car racing, we don't do enough R&D. I don't think the fire suppression bottles were tested properly or enough. So I'm okay with getting more information if that's what it indeed was, if that was the reason they said it's not allowed. So, but otherwise, I don't know a lot about it, or I should say I don't know enough about it to have a good, solid opinion about it, and I don't want to do it a disservice. Speaking of first-timers, we'll get to go to World Finals for the first time in 2026. Going to be fun. Bring your goggles, buddy. Bring your goggles. That's my advice. Racing's pretty decent, and the dust wasn't as bad last year, but bring your goggles. Barry Jackson will do very good with Donnie. Yeah, we're going to see. Two old school guys probably have similar beliefs or similar value systems. That should help. So we'll see if they can get along. Chemistry will be key to the success of that team. Mr. Elliott, why do you have a big battle between Selinsgrove versus Williams-Grove on Friday nights? It's just like Lincoln Speedway and Port Royal. It's nothing like either of those. Here's why. Because Lincoln and Port Royal have been doing this for decades. Decades and decades. When you have Williams-Grove and Selinsgrove just schedules on top of them, it's been 1 year. It's been 4 races. It's not the same. It's nowhere close to the same. And I know I'm not going to get in I know some things were said on the Facebook post where I put up my 90 at 9. They said they talked to the Grove. That's all well and good. I talked to the Grove too. I'm not going to get into what they said, but because I'm not going to get in a social media battle with anyone. That's stupid. But I've talked to the Grove too. They weren't happy. I don't care what they said. They weren't happy. So, and that's this year. And, and it was ironic. It was ironic that it was 3 hours after the series thing comes out where the tracks are working together. Selinsgrove wasn't at those meetings. From what I gather, according to the people who I know who were at that meeting, Selinsgrove was not at one meeting. So at that point, the whole working together thing falls flat for me. But it's not Port Royal and Lincoln. It's just not. I mean, you can't compare decades to all of a sudden we're going to come in. Oh, by the way, didn't talk to the Grove last year, according to Williams-Grove. Never talked to him last year, just did it. Now they talked to him this year. But again, here we are. So no, it's not like Port Royal Lincoln. It's nowhere close to it. Talked to James McFadden tonight. He said he has a similar schedule in USA next year, 30-ish races. Give me your top 3 drivers for Tarleton to hire for the rest of the schedule. You know, Chase, you're not helping me with the breaking news here, but that's okay. There's actually more to that story with McFadden. I'm hoping to have that from Tarleton shortly. But top 3, Jesse Schlotfeld, I'd like to see in it. Now he has his own stuff, and I understand that, but I'd like to see him get a shot in the Tarleton car. I like Schlotfeld a lot. I don't think there's anybody on the road that I expected be in that thing. I think if Tanner Holmes doesn't perform better in the 13, he could be back in it. But again, that was only 2 weekends. We'll see what he does. I know somebody just said Caleb Montgomery. Maybe. But Schlotfeld is the top name. 3 guys, I don't think you want 3 guys in it. I think that's too many. It's not a jigsaw puzzle. I don't like the idea of having, I didn't like it for the 14 for high limit. That was just too many. I just don't think you have any continuity. I would hire Jesse Schlotfeld to run it outside of James McFadden, if it were me. It'd definitely be a Northwest driver. I think right now they have some guys up at Skagit. That's a big problem I have with this topic. Why aren't people there advertising and stuff? Like, here, have these sales associates talking to people. Like, honest, Abe, it doesn't mean anything until, okay, I think I know what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, you gotta have activation. In the real world, you put things in stores. You do all kinds to just generate putting the product in people's hands. That's what you want. You want to expose them to it. Putting a name on a wing isn't exposing anybody to it. They see it. They don't. The best one is when Tezos was part of the All-Stars, when they were explaining a blockchain to the people in the stands. That was the best. The confused looks were just tremendous. I always went to stand in front of the grandstand and watch people's faces when they were explaining it to them. But yes, you're right. The Cowboys stunk it up last night. Yeah, we got that one already. I think Eric just wanted to put that up twice because that's Eric. Who does Dayson do? I think you mean how does Dayson do in the 9? I think he'll do okay. He's got the crew chief situation with Jarrett is something that has got to be developed. I don't know how. I mean, he hasn't worked really on a 410 for an extended period of time. I think he did Chad Boats stuff in a 410, but that's a concern for me a little bit. The nice thing is Casey will wait on him. Casey waited on Brad Sweet, and it paid off. I think Dayson is going to have the benefit of an owner who isn't going to have a quick hook. I think he's going to allow him to develop, and I think that's huge. So I wouldn't be surprised if Dayson has 2 or 3 wins this year. Your thoughts of Kevin Nouse joining Williams Grove? I don't think it's bad. I think he brings he's been with the All-Stars. He was with High Limit. He can probably streamline their show a little bit. He's been a race director for the All-Stars. So I think he can definitely add something to the show, or I should say keep it moving. Now, I do know in the release, he said he's evaluating all the procedures of running a show there, the rule book, etc. I don't, hopefully they told the people who are already there that he's coming in, or that could be a problem. But I have no problem with him joining Williams Grove. I think it's fine. Deep dive with all the Dietrichs. Oh, God. Never get a word in edgewise. Deep dive Davy Brown. Wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be bad. Tommy Sanders. Okay. Getting a lot of deep dive suggestions. Deep dive with Randy Wolf or Van May. I like that. No racing series should have a playoff consistency matters. I tend to agree. The bottom line is people don't like it. Whether it's good, bad, it doesn't matter. People don't like it. If people don't like it, your customers don't like it, which is the fans in this case, then it's not worth doing it. Sometimes you got to listen to your fan base. Sorry, a little PRI under the weather. Did you hear anything at PRI about Rico buying half of Speedway Engines? Yeah, that's old news. We've talked about that, and it's been out there for a while. Running for KKR, is Dayson going to run like a sweeter like Casey Kane? Look, it's not going to be easy following Brad Sweet. 5 straight World of Outlaws championships, 92 victories. Going over to High Limit, winning the championship. Knoxville Nationals winner, 2 Kings Royals. That's not going to be easy shoes to fill, but Dayson will be fine. I think Dayson's coming along nicely. I saw progress last year, and I expect even more progress this year. Deep dive Wayne Harper. I do not know if he's going to be at Lincoln this year. I'm not sure on that. Heard different things. Deep dive Barry Camp. Good one. Good one. Making mental notes here. Tarleton Motorsports. I already did one with Drew Warner. I've already done one with Joey Saldana, I believe. Yes, I did one with Joey Saldana. It was very good. Go back and check it out. It's on the YouTube page. He was really good, believe it or not. Is there any reason track records aren't being broken more often? It's 2025, and the cars, in theory, should be faster. Well, there's a weight rule, though. They weigh about 300 pounds more than they used to, 400 pounds more in some cases. So that's a problem. I think now, look, we've had some track records broken recently, but I would say in some cases it has to do with the weight roll. Deep dive Keith Kaufman. Yeah, that would be good. Getting a lot of deep dive Fred Raymer. Mark Dobmeyer. Interesting. Very interesting. He'd be good. John Westbrook. Oh, that would be entertaining. We'd get him talking about this series. The Roths. I don't know how Dennis is doing right now, though. Jeff Shepard. Yeah, no, that would be a good one. Somebody say CK Spurlock. Deep dive Tim Dietz and Chase Dietz and Corey Haas. Fair. Bill Klingbeil. Actually talked to Bill this week. Says Logan Schuhart's ready to go. They actually brought on Tanner Holmes' sister, Carly. I've heard nothing but good things about her work ethic. The Macris were really impressed with her when she helped them. She's a worker. Alan Klingerman. Who else do we got here? Deep dive with Sprint Car Hall of Famer photographer Jack Cromer. Great work. Jack Kramer, or Jack, yeah, say that 5 times fast. Jack Cromer does great work. I've used some of his pictures. Mario Andretti, probably a little harder to get. Take a drink every time you read Deep Dive. It's water. Wrong show. Have you talked to Tyler Walker? I have not. I wouldn't even know how to get a hold of him at this point. Why does World Racing Group promote iRacing? Is it the start of an AI takeover? No. They've been doing this since COVID. This isn't new. It's something it's been in place for a while. And I think it does okay in the off season and people pay attention to it. I want to make the drive from Missouri to PA to see a race. Which track would you recommend that would have other things to do in the area so that I can convince my wife to actually want to go with me? Look, anything in the Harrisburg area, Williams Grove, Baps, even Lincoln, because you have Gettysburg there. You have Hershey Chocolate Factory, the park, and all the stuff down there. It's really, there's a lot to do in this kind of Harrisburg Metroplex area. And you have the history down south with Gettysburg, a ton of it. And like I said, you have all the things up near Harrisburg. I don't think you could go wrong, really. They have outlets in Hershey too. She likes to shop. So I think there's a lot of different things that could be done. What do you hear on the Crite 69K for 2026? I mean, I've heard Ryan Smith is going to continue to be in the car. Do they do a deal with, Christopher Bell? That I don't know. I haven't heard anything yet. I think it's probably a little early. but Ryan Smith has him now. There might be an announcement coming for Jesse. Ah, yes. I've heard some different things, but we'll see. Hopefully I get a heads up on that one. How do you know he's not coming back? You did not talk to him. Who? Who's not coming back? I don't know who you're talking about. Tyler Walker, I believe. No, I didn't talk to him. But I was asked, do I think he'll be coming back? I gave you an answer. If he does, it'll be a couple. I mean, I don't know who he'd race for. So I was asked a question if I think he's coming back. I do not. But maybe he will. Hopefully everything's going well. He's kind of been off the radar a little bit from people who I know who've talked to him, and hopefully he resurfaces again. Hopefully more than anything, more important than any kind of racing, hopefully everything's going well in his life. I don't think racing was something that should have been the first priority. Not exactly. There's kind of a lot of vices hanging out at racetracks. Get his life together, get everything going there. That should be the most important thing for him, not racing. Do I go to a PA Posse Sprint Series race when I know the 48 and 39M are not going to be there, and possibly pay more to go to a regular weekly show? Not a hard decision. I think that's going to be a problem of who goes to what races throughout the season in Central Pennsylvania. I just think that it's a moving target. I think that's going to be a major problem. I think people aren't going to know when to go to see certain guys. Really going to have to be watching social media. Sorry, I was reading something also in the chat. Somebody's mad because I'm just assuming. Well, yeah. Yeah, just assuming what? So what? Any news on Tyler Thompson's 2026 plans? I talked to him at BAPS, and I know he'd like to, run a couple more races in Central Pennsylvania, and just doesn't know if he could get out here to run that 2 car, the Kalman car. But I expect him to be doing his own thing out in California again, from what he was saying. Just running his own car. Has a job, so he does that. I just don't. We had a story on the website about him. Up and coming guy, looked good at BAPS. I really liked what I saw from him there. So maybe somebody gives him a ride. Tezos had a great chance to do something and they dropped the ball. I don't know what you wanted them to do. It didn't fit this particular demographic. It just didn't. End of the first quarter, Dolphins Steelers 0-0. What a slugfest. If very few teams support the series, how is it really any good? How is it really any good aside from tracks literally working together? Seems like there needs to be more incentive for teams. Look, I think it's good that tracks work together. I think that could pay off down the road. I think that's never a bad thing. I just thought the series was too many races. And that's why teams aren't going to be running all of them. It's too many races. I thought it should have been 20 to 25, 30 at most. not 47. It's way too many. I thought they should have started at the main tracks in central Pennsylvania instead of going out to Bedford and a couple other places. I just think they made it too large too soon. And that's why guys aren't going to support it. I think that's a big reason they're not going to support it. So the incentive for teams would have been less races. And the point fund would have been less, but I don't think that would have mattered. And furthermore, I think, got to get sponsors. There's a novel concept instead of a $4,000 sanction fee. That's what makes no sense to me. If I'm a track, I'm paying $4,000 to see the same guys that I see when I have a weekly show. I don't get that. That makes no sense to me. But it's a financial thing. It just money-wise, it doesn't make sense. So I don't think it's that they didn't provide enough incentive. I just think it's too large. I just think there's too many races. Take the wings off the cars, make racing great and affordable again. Nobody in Pennsylvania go watch it because they don't when they're here. That is an Indiana thing. And God bless them. They like it. I don't mind it, but it just doesn't work in other areas. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, it just doesn't. We've seen it multiple times. They have to stick the 410s on the cars here. They have to stick the 410s on the program with USAC when they come here to sell the shows for Eastern Storm. Lincoln's giving it up. Baps is giving it up. They used to host those events. They don't anymore. So in central Pennsylvania, it just doesn't work. But really, not much does other than winged sprint cars. So I just think it's pretty. I just think that it just doesn't work here. And I know you just said make it a Pennsylvania thing. You're not going to make it a Pennsylvania thing. You're not going to force people to do it because they have USAC East Coast and nobody comes and watches that. So it's not that I hate it. It's just that I know what I see and I talk to these people and it just doesn't resonate with them. It just not something for here. Doesn't mean it's bad. Non-wing cars are way too slow. She's going to kill it for Shark. Hardworking girl. She has the passion for the sport. I don't even think it comes down to passion. She just works hard. She gets after it. You know, I watched her in the pit area when she was with Macri. She does a good job. She hustles. You know, she'll be a good employee for Shark. Jim from Buffalo on line 2. We had calls for Jim from Buffalo. They wanted a wellness check for you. Your Buffalo Bills won. Jim, how are you?
Oh, my wellness level is pretty good right now. They fired Kevin Adams, the GM of the Sabres.
Saw that.
And we got a real veteran general manager. I mean, my gosh. And the Bills won in dramatic fashion. You know, it's like I DM'd you. You know, we're a drinking town with a football and hockey problem. You got to understand that. So, you know, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been a good day so far. And you know, you threw a curveball there last week. I didn't realize the show was going on Monday. But otherwise, you know, probably would have called in. But a couple questions. Enjoyed your coverage there from PRI. I mean, that's got to be a interesting thing. That's one of the few things I haven't gone to yet. I mean, is that really like the big networking event and everything that goes on every year?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of deals being made. There's a lot of it's mostly an industry show. Like you don't see fans rolling up in there very often because you just can't get it. It's credentialed. Everything's credentialed. You're either a vendor or you're an exhibitor, a buyer or a media person. You're not, it's hard to get, it's not easy. You get vetted. But yeah, I mean, they network. There's deals being made. There's news that comes out. I mean, seems like more late model now than sprint cars, because sprint cars seem to start releasing stuff in July. So for me, it's slowed down a little bit. But yeah, no, it's a good time to talk to people and kind of just make connections.
Yeah, give you a chance to catch your breath for a little bit before the holidays, and then it cranks up again. But yeah, one question: how is the Outlaw roster going to round out this year? Obviously, I mean, if Baylog hasn't officially announced, but we know it's coming back. Bill Rose is coming back now. Is he coming back driving himself?
No.
Or is he going to put together a deal and like have the 6-car and Conor Morell and run them both?
I don't know. I don't know if he has a driver yet. I don't think it'll be him. I don't think he can run the whole series anymore. So I expect him to name a driver. I do not know what the status is of Conor Morell. I think the big one now is we got to see where he's going is Emerson Axsom. I think that's what everybody wants to see. You know, I think and last I checked with him, it was up in the air yet.
Yeah, he kind of is a wild card, you know. And I guess, you know, it's 50-50 there. But, you know, also, too, I mean, Sheldon's got to officially announce. But,
I think
we'll see. And, yeah. But, yeah, you know, so what are they looking at? 13, 14 on tour this year?
Yeah, the two series will have probably about 28, 29 guys between them.
Yeah, that's about all you need, because you do have to have some spots open for the local guys. Yep. I mean, or nobody would show up. I mean, sure, you race for more money and everything like that, but you do want to have a decent chance of making the A.
Yeah, I mean, you want to because if they don't show up, then they're not going to come out. I mean, meaning if they don't make the A main more, they're not going to come out. You got to give them their opportunities to make the A main.
Well, how many of these charters or whatever they're calling is your favorite series they're going to issue? I mean, are they going to go up to 25 charters and just have 25 guys travel with them all the time, or what's going to be the top end on that?
15.
15. All right.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that
it's
before.
Clearly on the sheet. Sure. It's clearly on the sheet that I've posted numerous times.
I see. And I had to laugh though. You know, I'm open to a deep dive, but I think people will be very, very disappointed in it. So, anyways, but that made my day.
We'll just
After
talk
Kevin
about
Adams
Buffalo all the time.
Fired. That's all you got to do, you know. So, but yeah, sorry to hear about Connor Bedard. That kind of sucks for the Hawks there. He was starting to play like everybody thought he could play.
Yeah, top 5 in scoring.
Yep. So anyways, all right then. Well, if I don't talk to you before Christmas, have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all that good stuff. And same to everybody out there that's listening or in chat. See ya.
Thank you very much, Jim. Appreciate it. All right. Diane Schatz deep dive. It's interesting. Deep dive Van May. That's the second vote for Van May. Deep dive with Shane Carson. I actually talked to Shane Carson at PRI, and that is something we're going to get done. Deep dive with Jim from Buffalo. Yeah. Would Kathy Hughes do a deep dive? Probably not. I don't think so. She really doesn't do interviews. Deep dive, Charlie Sorokic. It's interesting. Yep. Deep dive, Sean Rahal. What was your favorite thing about PRI? Favorite thing. Seminars. I was able to catch a couple seminars with different topics, and so that was interesting. You hear from tracks across the country, some of the things they're going through, some of the things they're proposing to, kind of raise up their weekly program or their special events. So I'd say the seminars, being in the TI 22 booth, made it nice. Those guys were great, very accommodating. Catching up with Maria from FK Rod Ends and the other people I talked to. So I think it's just making some connections that I don't get a chance to do throughout the year because it's busy. And then also the seminars. How can someone get some of those Chinese Lakeseas tires? Asking for a friend. Yeah, that was a topic out there a little bit because you can run them and they just don't give out. So I don't know what the tire situation is going to be like. I just don't. I think it's a mess. But yeah, I heard nothing but good thing about the Lakeseas. Jeremy, Shots' nieces made the World of Outlaws sprint car feature and the World of Outlaws late model feature, both in the same year, 2025. Are they the first drivers to make both? They're probably the first drivers who tried, I would assume. So I would assume they are. Speaking of Bill Rose, any news on Zach Hampton for 2026? I've heard as of now he does not have anything. I heard that at PRI. Don't know if it's true. Colton, Tim Hughes, Carlton Reimers, Andy Hillenberg, Joe Gertie. Carlton Reimers turned me down. He doesn't do interviews, but I like those other ones. Definitely like those other ones. Deep dive, Doug Ash. Be a good one. Charlie Garrett deep dive. Yes, that one sooner rather than later. Deep dive with TSR, Misha Geiser. I don't know if it's interesting. I don't know if she'd do it. Can always ask. Worst they can say is no. What happened to Alan Crimes? Last I checked, he was dealing with family stuff. He was spending time with his family more. And just, I don't know if he'll be back. Don't know if he'll be back. Donnie has made both Woo features. There you go. Keeping it in the family. Dolphins 3-0, Steelers 0. God, 5 minutes till halftime. We need the Steelers to pick it up here. Thanks for the update. We'll be out of here soon, and then I'll watch it. How much more testing before Woo buy off on the new Butler seat with the harness hookup? I'd love to tell you were wrong, but we've seen it in the past. I don't know. I would assume if the Sprint Car Council said there needs to be more testing, then there needs to be more legitimate testing. There are more than, the World of Outlaws. There's more than just World of Outlaws representation on that council. So we'll see. We'll see what develops in the future on this. What did you think of the Kubota Dirt Nationals? Seemed like a wreck fest with bodies all over the track. Yeah. No, I get it. I didn't really watch it. I didn't have an interest in it. If I wanted to watch a demo derby, I could just go down on a local track. I had other things going on. Do you know about how much a series sponsor like American Beer for World of Outlaws late models or Kubota High Limit supports the series? I do not know about late models. It's not my area of expertise. I mean, usually your title sponsors for a series like the World of Outlaws High Limit, I'd say, I mean, going back to Craftsman and some of those, I mean, you're looking at the numbers range from 350 to 600,000 a year, something like that, somewhere in that range, I would estimate. Again, I don't know anything about late models. I would assume it's the same. You guaranteed Brad would win in 2025 and now picking Reitzel in 2026. Your Rico disrespect is off the charts. Buddy has 0 wins at Eldora and Knoxville, but you glaze him regularly. I don't think I glaze anybody. That seems inappropriate. But I have no disrespect for Rico. I think Rico has a lot on his plate. And picking Brad Sweet to win a title, I don't think is way out of left field. I don't think it's disrespect. Or maybe I just didn't want to pick the chalk. And Buddy is number 2 in the country right now. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. Buddy Kofoid is the second best in the sport right now to David Gravel. That's it. You know, I don't, the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. So I think Rico's had I think Rico has done a great job. I think Rico's right there in that 3rd, 4th range. I think, yes, he's going to contend for the title next year. I don't think choosing Aaron Reitzel when he was pushing him before he got hurt, I mean, it's not like I don't have a sample size here to choose from. He was right in the mix and had the ownership and had the owner's lead when Justin Sanders got out of the car. So I don't think I'm going off the grid there. So it's not Rico disrespect. It's maybe that I respect the other guys as much as I respect Rico. There's 2 ways to look at it. Whoops. How can you be number 2 and never win a race at Eldora or Knoxville? It's like being a quarterback without a payout. I don't know. I saw him win $800,000 last year. I saw him outpoint David Gravel from June 1st till the end of the year. There's more races than just Eldora and Knoxville. If we're going to do that, then Ryan Timms is the best in the country. Is that what we're saying? Anthony Macri, the best in the country because he won the King's Royal? Don't think so. It's a year. It's not just one race. You can't just base it on one race. Because if we're going to do that, Buddy Kofoid dominates at Houston and they pay the most money. Which one do you want to win? So, PA Posse Sprint Series we stuck to around 30, 35 racing. Is only the summer months, May to August. Then left the tracks, do whatever before and after that. I don't have a problem with that. 35, I think, is getting too much to keep your little guys engaged. You want to keep as many people running the series as long as possible. Bring back wooden wings. Shut up. What about carbon fiber wings? Let's not make it any more expensive than we have to. Did you see the news where Atomic Speedway has not paid STP Motorsports their winning purse? I have not seen that yet. I did not see that yet. It looks like I might have to research that. Eric's giving me the wait a minute sign. He has something. He's going to put it up. Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay, I can't read that. You're killing me, Eric. Come on. How about you blow it up and tell me what Facebook the page and everybody can go do it? I'm not going to read. Not on the show. All right, what's next? What about carbon? We got carbon fiber wings. I don't want to do it. I'm not paying for it. Deep dive Bob Baker, if you haven't done it yet. No, that would be a pretty good one as well. Deep dive Chesson Brothers. Yes, if you could track them down. Deep dive the old man with the racing museum in Ohio who lives in it, and Brady Bacon has a shop in the basement. Sugar Bear. Never gets dull. Never gets dull. Do you think just copying the Australian sprint car rule book for over here would be all around better for the sport? Open tire rule, any style wing, no head rule, inline and canted valves, etc. You know, parts of it. Like I want the drug testing part. I want the penalties part. I want all that stuff. Having open rules, I think with the expense of this sport isn't always good anymore. And I used to be more of an open, everything open guy, but I've understood now that variable change, which is things got more expensive. So I just don't know if it's good for the sport. So I would have to read their rule book and see if it's something that, not that I'm an expert on the rule book, but I would like to see some of their things implemented over here. You know, I do think how they run things maybe could help our side of the pond as far as this sport. So I guess the answer is yes, but no. Some things, but not all things. How does the car that takes a provisional get hard charger? Please don't say they pass the most cars. Yeah, I think you should be out of the running for that if you take a provisional. Because you got a free pass to the A main. I'm all for they should be disqualified from that. Zach Hampton seemed to get the most out of that car in a while. He is sidelined. I mean, maybe he comes back to that car, but I'm hearing otherwise. If he wants to chime in, he can. I've not heard anything to the contrary yet. Brian Monty deep dive. Yeah, that'd be a good one. I don't know if he'd do it. I think he just kind of checked out. What happened to Todd Fisher? I think he's, I was just talking about him this weekend, and he's running some, I'm not sure where he's at right now, but I know he's doing okay. I know he's running something. I just forget what it was. He's running some business or some series or something. If Colton Gauss is still on, he can type it in there because he knows we were talking about it this weekend. I just forget. Sorry. But I'll find out and ask me the same question next week. I promise I'll find out. Deep dive on Aaron Berryhill. That's an interesting one. Deep dive sham? What's that mean? Why no West Coast deep dives? Well, there's a 3-hour time difference, and really Lauda, it's my fault. I'm usually jamming them in too late in the week, and they're harder to get. So what I have to do is, this is my fault. I need to get a couple for January and have a couple of West Coast deep dives. That's on my list. It's my fault. I just push it off sometimes till Wednesday, and then I'm up against it with the 3-hour change. And on Thursday, since I put it up at 7, basically Thursday's out just because of the 3-hour time change. I need to edit it. I need to put it on. Not that it takes long to do that, but sometimes the rendering takes long with the internet because it's a longer form interview. So I need to bank a couple of these things, and make some West Coast. I know Steve Kent is one I'd like to do. I think there's a couple other guys out there I'd like to get on the deep dive. So no, it's my fault. Boy, that atomic deal is not good. 2 bounce checks. Yeah, I believe Eric has the link in the chat. If he can put it up on the screen, unless he buried it somewhere, but he had it up for wherever. I guess it's a Facebook post. It's bad if you don't pay people now. Oh, he sent it to my phone, which is across the room, and I'm not going to get up to get it. So I'll check it out, and I'll do some looking around. Have you ever had a driver get mad at you for something that you wrote or said? Like they wouldn't talk to you for a while? Yeah, Kyle Larson was mad at me once and didn't talk to me for about a month and a half. I've had other drivers. I've had different drivers mad at me. I've been accused of saying something I never said. I had one driver say that I reported something. I said, I wasn't me, and they confused me with someone else. Look, I don't know if there's anybody who won't talk to me now, because at least they know I'm being fair. If they don't like it, that's fine. It's, can they say I wasn't fair? As long as I was fair, I didn't make anything up, I didn't embellish it, I'm fine with it. And usually there's people who've been mad at me and they talk to me now. And I think it's because they understand that I was at least fair. They might not have liked it, but it was fair. Now, I've had some tracks. I've been kicked out of a couple tracks. I've been let back in then after a certain time frame. I'm not going to apologize if I feel I was fair. And that's the main thing. You got to be fair with them. Don't call them names either. I see these guys now in columns calling people names. Just don't do it. It's low rent. Be professional. Can Hoosier at least make a different tire compound so the teams can pick and choose? They did do some testing. I think it was Brad Sweet. I know Kofoid tested. Trying to think who else. I know Brad tested. But they tested them, and I guess, they got to get rid of inventory first. When they get rid of inventory, I don't think you'll see it this year or at the beginning of this year, but maybe toward the end of the year and next year, I think you'll see a different compound. I think they want to burn through some inventory first so they don't have a ton sitting there, and then I think you'll see a new compound. One that doesn't fold under as much, which has been one of the problems. Deep dive Jimmy Sills. That'd be an interesting one. Deep dive Paul McMahon. I believe I did that one already. Pretty sure I did that one already. In fact, I'm almost certain I did. What's happening with the KCP 18 car? As far as I know, Sheldon will be in the car. It's just a matter of getting everything signed and done and then making the announcement. Come on. Come on. We were at 83 likes. Let's do it. Jeremy works hard for this show and us. I appreciate that. I appreciate the kind words. Sorry for my voice tonight. It should be really good for the 90 at 9. I've done Tony Laporta already. I already did that deep dive. He was good. Deep dive with Chuck Gurney Sr. That'd be a good one as well. Jeremy, tell us about your travels for 2026. Still working it out. I'll be in Florida at the Dirt Car Nationals. I'll be, then you'll have the Kings. Oh, Vegas. I'll be in Vegas. Be at the Kings Royal, Knoxville National, Charlotte. Of course, I'll probably go to Lernerville. I'll probably, go places like that. All of Speed Week. I got to talk to Brent Smith because we're in the process of talking about where we're going to go. I could see me going to Kokomo this year. I've never been to Kokomo. The last time I tried to go to Kokomo, it rained out. So didn't work out. Yes, Sugar Bear, I will be at probably the 360 Nationals and then all the way through the 410 Nationals. But so I'm going to add a couple more trips. I just don't know where. Keep asking. I'll have it sooner or later. Steelers touchdown. It's pretty bad if I have to root on the Steelers, but I have a nice C note on that one. Deep dive Nicole Signor. She lives out in Iowa now. What else do we got? In my eyes, the restricting rules like Hoosier Tires is no different from a company like Winners giving money to the series that you must run their rear ends. So why is it acceptable with tires? Look, they made a deal. The series took the money, and that's what it comes down to. There's no other way to say it. Track points, it locked out other companies. If you want to say it's a monopoly, you can, but again, they chose it. Sprint Car Racing chose that. The tracks chose it. There was a choice. The difference with a monopoly is you don't have choice. So I don't know what to tell you. They got their point funds. They got point fund money. It's how it worked. The Outlaws were going to go American Racer, but it didn't happen. The Pennsylvania, Knoxville, and Eldora stepped in, said they're going Hoosier, and it really forced the Outlaws. It forced the Outlaws to go to Hoosier. It's one of the only times that the Outlaws have kind of lost one of those battles. I actually wrote about it when I was at Penn Live. So this one's on the local speedways. What's your favorite adult beverages? I don't really have one. Seriously, I don't drink. Deep dive, 90-plus-year-old cowboy Jim Kennedy. It's interesting. Deep dive, Brent Smith. It's funny. I don't know if Brent would do it. I think he'd be like, well, why do people want to hear from me? Favorite soda. If I drink one, I will not drink it out of a can or a bottle. It would have to be a fountain Coke. I will not drink it out of a can or a bottle. Don't have it in my apartment. Probably shouldn't drink it at all. Can we get Eric to answer a question or two? I'm sure if you ask him one in the chat, he'll respond. He likes to give his opinion. Deep dive Carmen Perigo. I used to watch him when he was ran Silver Springs in a super sportsman class. Jeremy, does your daughter attend sprint car races or does she hate racing? I don't think I don't either way. I don't think she likes it or hates it. She does not attend. I don't take her to work. It's just not something I'm going to do. 98.9. The height of the posse is in how tall they are. In the height of the posse, not now. Definitely not. All right. I see Eric did answer a question. No, he's not in my apartment. You guys. All right, that's a wrap on the questions tonight. I appreciate everybody joining the chat and the couple calls we got. Jim from Buffalo, you're popular. And next week we will be back on Tuesday. I think there's nothing going on. So yes, Tuesday next week. And again, I appreciate everybody switching over to Mondays. Again, thank you very much. And we'll be back next week. Stay tuned.